My dear comrades of the live stream cosmos, gather round as Hassanabi, our veritable prince of proletariat pep talks, takes the mic to address the malaise, the existential ennui, the capitalist blues that seem to blanket his fanbase like the smog over a factory town.
In the world, it's just not exactly great. Things are not exactly great, I will admit. And all I'll say is, when people ask me personally, like, oh, how do you deal with all this? Like, things are really awful. Okay? Things are really awful. How the f do you deal with any of this? Like, you cover it on a day-to-day basis. Well, the way I deal with all the mania is not by suppressing it, but by focusing on my own self. You know what I mean? Setting goals for myself, achieving those goals, whether it be working out, weightlifting, whether it be, even sometimes playing video games, changing certain things up on my stream, focusing on things in my life and accomplishing them. Yeah, your life is so difficult. It's not. I am a very fortunate person. I never said that my life was difficult. I'm simply answering. The attitude in the stream about this event is pathetic. Do better. I'm gonna untime out this guy. Just stop using Twitter if it's that dangerous for a platform. Lol. Dog, you are exactly who I'm talking about. Okay, I think the lesson that you can learn from this, the lesson that you can learn from what I'm trying to explain to you from my own personal experience is that, like, we're all human beings, right? No matter what our material conditions look like, you still have the capacity to feel. Right. And it's obvious to me that you definitely have some issues. Right. Like, you definitely have some issues because you're coming in here early on a Friday where the vibes are immaculate. And like the first thing you do, your first output in here is to just like misunderstand what I'm saying and to come in and hate. And it seems pretty consistent with like what you've done so far. Obviously, that comes from a place of hurt. You know what I mean? So if you have these kinds of feelings in your heart, if you're just like upset about one thing or another, whether it's like very valid reasons, because rent is impossible to pay and all the extra money, the 1% increase in your salary, if you're lucky, is directly going back to groceries. All right. If all that's just like frustrating, that's valid. But this is unhealthy. Lashing out at someone like myself in an effort to make yourself feel a little bit better, it's not going to work. You know what I mean? It's also not going to be healthy for you because you didn't actually try to fix the problem internally. You just kind of did this thing and moved on. That's why I always try to explain to people, like, if you're unhappy, if you're upset with something, set some goals for yourself. Set some goals for yourself and then try to achieve those goals. And in the process of achieving those goals, you'll start feeling a little bit more confident. Okay? That's why I talk about like the silly little things that are happening in the background of my life in the beginning of the broadcast, right? So yeah.
For today, he's not just talking politics. No, he's donning the mantle of motivational guru, rallying his troops to stave off the darkness that capitalism often leaves in its wake. Hassan doesn't deny the reality we face, no empty platitudes here. He admits it, acknowledges it, things out there in the big, bad world are nothing short of rough. But here's where he flips the script. Hassan speaks to his fans with the brutal honesty they came for, grounding his words in his own experience of wading through the muck of daily news, all the while retaining his sanity. He doesn't sugarcoat it. Yes, he says, the world is a hot mess, but the antidote he offers isn't escapism or burying one's head in the sand. No, it's about reclaiming agency. It's about setting goals that belong to you, goals that can't be hijacked by the 1% or siphoned off by the billionaire class. His advice? Focus on small, actionable goals within your immediate control. To Hassan, it's not about pretending our problems don't exist. It's about facing them head-on by fortifying our own selves. Whether it's lifting weights or leveling up in a video game, each goal, however minor it may seem, builds resilience. Hassan argues that this process, this internal cultivation, can be your rebellion against the system. Every act of self-improvement, every step toward a goal, is a defiance of the world's expectations for you to merely consume and comply. Of course, the trolls rear their heads, those ready to mock, to belittle, to derail. But Hassan, ever the seasoned veteran of internet contention, addresses them too. He meets them not with animosity, but with understanding. I get it, he says. These are people lashing out, not at him, but at the frustration they feel. Their anger is real, their pain is palpable, but Hassan knows that pointing it at him or at anyone in the chat is merely a momentary balm, a temporary vent that solves nothing. But, oh, how he then lays down the truth. He tells his viewers that this cycle of anger, without action, without purpose, is toxic. It's like spinning one's wheels in the mud, it's cathartic in the moment, but it doesn't move you forward. Instead, he encourages them to turn that frustration inward, not as self-loathing, but as motivation to address what's causing the pain in the first place. If rent is draining your bank account, if groceries are out of reach, if every day is a financial struggle, then use that rage as fuel for change, both personal and political. And this, dear listeners, is where Hassan turns the discussion from mere personal motivation to something greater. He recognizes that individual action, while empowering, must be coupled with collective awareness. He advocates for self-improvement, yes, but not the neoliberal, pull yourself up by the bootstraps nonsense. This isn't about becoming an island, it's about becoming stronger so you can stand shoulder to shoulder with others. In the face of a system designed to break you, Hassan suggests, building up your own strength can be a powerful act of resistance. To Hassan, this is the beauty of small victories. He talks about sharing the little joys, the tiny triumphs, at the beginning of each stream, not just to update his audience, but to show them that even in a rigged system, they can create pockets of victory. These moments are more than personal milestones, they are proof that you can carve out a space for joy and accomplishment, even if it's as simple as learning a new skill, hitting a fitness goal, or supporting a friend. But he doesn't stop there. Hassan pushes his viewers to think about these small victories as training grounds for the larger battles to come. Today, it's about completing a personal goal. Tomorrow, it might be organizing for change, demanding better conditions, or standing up to exploitative bosses. The small wins build confidence, and that confidence becomes the backbone for greater resilience. It's the preparation needed to not just survive capitalism, but to fight against it. Yet, Hassan is quick to remind his viewers, this journey isn't linear, nor is it easy. There will be setbacks, moments when anger threatens to consume you, days when the weight of it all feels unbearable. But it's in these moments, he argues, that resilience is forged. Those who continue, those who persevere, will find strength in the struggle. And, as he tells his viewers, no corporation, no billionaire, no politician can take that resilience away. Finally, Hassan leaves his fans with a charge: embrace each day as a chance to fight back, even in small ways. Use the weights, the goals, the little projects not as escapes, but as building blocks for something larger. Every act of self-care, every achievement, is a stand against the powers that wish to see you broken, defeated, compliant. And as he signs off, you can almost feel the weight lift from the chat, viewers leaving, if not buoyant, at least fortified, knowing they've received a rallying cry wrapped in the armor of resilience. And so, Hassanabi's motivational speech concludes, not with grand promises, but with the simple truth that, yes, the world is hard, the system is brutal, but within each of them lies a strength untapped. It's a lesson in finding purpose, a call to create meaning even in the chaos, and a reminder that, when united, they can withstand anything capitalism throws their way.